I've had a few people talk to me in the recent days about health issues and health scares, and the beautiful desire to help, to do whatever it takes to help the person that's sick. And the thing that kept coming up was to pray to God, to pray for help. And I guess the conversations I was having where people were asking, does it serve, does it help? And I guess you could answer it any way you want to answer this, But the way I see it is anything that reminds us that there's a God, that there's a higher force, that there's the universal force that's moving all of us. Anything that reminds us of that has to be good, right? So even in catastrophes or health scares, when you get news which isn't good, there's amazing good in it when our attention goes back to resting and into the acknowledgement of a God. Now, obviously for me, because I meditate, the idea of a God out there in the sky somewhere, heaven's up there, doesn't sit with me. It's not what I believe. And I know it is what a lot of people believe and want to believe. And so yes, connect to God and how you feel it works for you. For me though, the experiencing of stillness and perfection now is what's the most important for my life, so that I'm living in that connection. I'm being aware of that connection. I'm puffing so much. I just climbed. I'm at 2,350 meters right now. Awesome. Which is why the mountains around there are pretty bare, because it's all in the snow line at wintertime. What am I talking about? I think it's beautiful to actually, when I wish for someone's health and safety and well wishes, I allow that image or that thought that I'm having of them to go back into stillness, back into this moment, back into the infinite. And to me, that's the greatest source of prayer, because if I'm acknowledging that infinite, if I'm living in that, if I'm putting their awareness, my awareness of them into that, then that's the highest force of prayer in my experience, because it's the experiencing of God versus the thinking about God somewhere. I'm praying to a God up there and hoping that he does something, or she does something good for that person. Well, that's totally my desire and my will versus God's will. I'm trying to tell God what I think is right. Whereas simply being aware of the person and letting that image or that thought go into perfection right now is me surrendering to God and basically saying, God, I'm out of the way, and do what you need to do, Or said even a greater version of truth is surrendering even the idea of a me into experiencing stillness right now, so that I'm experiencing no separation. So that thought is actually of that person and of myself is actually dropped into the eternal perfection of now. But that's a little bit too big for a lot of people to handle or to grasp. So we'll just tone it down a little bit and make us all aware that, some shade, that whatever you do is right for you, do what you think is right. And then as your experience of what God is changes for you, then it becomes your experience, not a concept, right? And ultimately that is always your truth. And let's just have a look where I am. Oh, good God, it's amazing. I think I'm going to sit down and take a break now.